Rainmakers. Um, Been a really busy week with Independent Courier stuff. Mostly running paint here, there, and everywhere. Paint is one of the biggest commodities. It's at least it's this particular group I'm contracting with does. When it's far into the mountains as Frisco, been up north doing other types of courier work as far as Louisville, and has some other runs out to the southeast part of Colorado, Lamar, doing more medical courier stuff. This has been going on since about the 20th of April, and it seems like it's pretty consistent. This is not app based. I'm actually working for a company that has dispatching software that they only provide to the drivers. So this is actually pretty easy to get into. It doesn't require much. First of all, you got to have some type of reliable vehicle. In my case, I'm using a Jeep Wrangler four-door hardtop that has actually quite a bit of storage capacity and can carry up to about, I think, probably about 750 pounds of cargo. I don't really want to push it too much. This particular company requires that you have some type of a business entity, like an LLC, which I do. That's Dynamic Rainmakers LLC. They want you to have an EIN number. That's like a social security number for your business. They do require you to have, of course, a driver's license and current vehicle registration. Because this is using your own vehicle and it's not really true heavy-duty commercial, you have to have the 100,000, 300,000 coverage on your vehicle for insurance, which is pretty common. I'm going to be expanding that out to what they call a joint policy that also has a commercial rider, and that's for getting more heavy-duty type of courier work. The money I'm getting from this, I'm going to be using to fund getting a cargo van so I can do more runs, more capacity, and things like that. One of the things that I'm going a step further beyond this, I am actually going to be setting up as a trucking company or a transportation company, if you want to call it that, because that's what couriering is. I'm getting a DOT number, US DOT number, and I have that registered already. That's free. The next big step is to get an MC number, motor carrier number, that you can get along with your DOT. I did not get that because I'm doing that later. That's about a $300 registration fee. And then the next big thing is actually have commercial liability and cargo insurance, which is very expensive. But if you're using like a small cargo van or a Sprinter, you can actually have that as a rider onto your existing policy. And that makes your insurance less. It's one way of doing it. Once you get your insurance in place, the company that files your insurance will be contacting FMCMA or whatever that is, the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, to get your authority, they call it, active. Now that has to be active for so many days before you can really start getting on load boards and such, like 90 days or more. But what I'm doing, I'm running with a company right now that's here in Colorado Springs as an independent contractor. And because of that, I really don't need to worry about all the DOT and MC numbers and those other things. That's when I want to expand out beyond what I'm doing. It's really advisable that you do set up a business entity. In my case, it was an LLC, but you really want to keep things separate from you. This is better way of doing stuff, but you need to be separate from your business entity. So there's not as many legal issues and taxing issues, insurance issues, and other things like that. Uh, it's very critical to do things like that. It doesn't take much to set up an LLC. At least here in Colorado, you can do that online through the Department of State or State Department, or whatever they call it here in Colorado. And you register there, and it's like a $50 fee, and you get that done the same day. It's instant. Pretty straightforward stuff. Like I said, I'm just using my Jeep right now, and that's a starting point. You can go and do other things. If you're going to be bigger than using your personal vehicle, do not get a new vehicle to do this. Please get something that's used, and it's in pretty good shape, though. You want to make sure that you're going to be in this business and not just get into it and find out you don't like it. It is a lot of driving. It is a lot of miles. You don't know where you're going to be going until you get the particular job. It could be anything, anywhere, at least right now in the state. If you're going to do medical couriering, this particular group I'm with, they require that you went through some basic online classes to get your certifications for being a medical courier. And then there's some other things beyond that you need to get that they will cover. The particular company I'm working with is called Your Courier Service. It's based here out of Colorado Springs. Pretty good group. They have a pretty good pay split, which is actually one of the unheard of ones because of how good it is. Their schedule is really based around your schedule. So, like, for example, you can let them know when you're available, day or night, because they're 24/7, 365 system company. And then they'll set you up schedule-wise to accommodate that. Pretty easy to get into. I just found out about this group through going through Facebook ads, or it's Facebook jobs basically. I filtered for courier drivers, and I just came across this group. They needed people. Gave them basic information, and then I got signed on, met with them, signed papers. The contract, of course, you have to sign, and then you start driving. It's pretty simple. The other thing, along with your business entity, you should get a business account as well, because they will ask you to have a business checking account set up. I'm using Novo right now. I had checked into some others, but they had some really odd requirements. So I'm using Novo right now. And this actually all the money goes into a business account, and that keeps your funds separate from personal income. Now, you can pay yourself or not. You can just let the money grow. Depends on what you want to do with the business. Like I said, I'm using that for seeding, getting more equipment, mainly a cargo or a Sprinter van, and going from there. It's been a pretty good experience so far. Like I say, one of the primary things I've been hauling a lot of is paint, but also machine parts. Some of the stuff is in town, some of it's it's in state. If they're big items, they let you use their equipment sometimes once they trust you as being a good, reliable courier, which I did for a couple major runs. But most of the work you'll be doing is going to be medical couriering, which is, like in this case, I've been doing vaccine distribution. I've been doing COVID samples, and some other specialized medical things of some kind, from hospital to hospital. or surgery center to surgery center. Uh, Pretty straightforward. You just pick it up from where you need to go. You show them the paperwork, or you show them your application that on your phone, and have them sign it. You get their name, and you take a picture, and then when you get to the other end, it's just a reverse. You give them the stuff, they sign it, you take a picture of it there, and you get their name and enter it, and that's it. At the end of the day, you consider everything as approved by your side, and then you'll get a settlement, or what they call pay. They call it, in this industry, they're called settlements for some reason, and then actually it's your pay towards your company. So pretty straightforward stuff. Some of the other things you really need to do with this is have some type of system to keep your mileage, because you can write off your mileage, which is good. You can write off anything that's related to your business. Like I had to get a series of coolers and cool packs for the medical couriering stuff. You can write that off. I got things like notebooks and things like that. Simple notebooks, stuff like that, to keep your paperwork in, which is advisable. So you can write all this stuff off. I'm using a thing called Stride Tax. It keeps track of your mileage and your income. You enter that the income manually. The mileage is tracked automatically using GPS, and then at the end of the day, you enter what you did it for, what your job was, and it's done for the day. And all those things are actually, you can pull them in and use them for your taxes, which is really good. It also allows you to take pictures of the receipts if you have any for expenses, like I had over there for the notebooks. So I think it's something to get into. It's something to consider. It'll vary based on your market. I'm in kind of a middle-sized market, Colorado Springs. Denver, I understand, has a lot broader stuff going on. As well as doing this, I'm also on several delivery platforms that are purely app-based, that are not really part of the business. They're kind of a supplemental thing. And they're things like Curry and Rapidus and things of that nature that are more specialized couriering services. You do the same thing using software. You don't really meet the people at the couriering company because it's all app-based. Like I said, they just actually are acting as dispatchers. But that's pretty straightforward. There's a lot of opportunities out there. You just got to have the drive to do it, and you need to think outside of the constraints that you're used to working in. There's a lot of things you can do independently. You can have different contracts. I'm hopefully trying to get some other contracts going, because I just have one right now. It's not doing too bad per week, but it's not consistent because it's only one contract. Looking for other groups right now. Get your name out there. Put your name out there on different courier boards and on Facebook. There's different groups. I've done that. Just get your name out. Get some business cards printed up. That is not really too hard to do. Just go to Staples and do your own business card. It's pretty simple. Everything else is there for you to do. I really appreciate you spending time with me on this. This is my first longer live stream video, and trying to give you a little bit more information rather than just on the road stuff, which gets kind of jiggly and noisy and stuff. But I'll keep doing those too. Okay, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe to my Dynamic Rainmakers channel. And I'll see you out there on the road, and be safe.